bags were horror lies.
Hello and welcome to Body Bags. My name is James and I'm your Sunday night reviewer. And I decided to bring you a 1990 classic that has never been brought to the Body Bags channel. Somehow, which is Predator 2. I actually watched this a couple of weeks back. Absolutely adore this movie. I think it's brilliant. A couple of days after that, I decided to try and rewatch The Predator. Not so keen on that one. And then last night I actually watched Predators. I hadn't seen it for a while. A movie that I actually think's pretty good. I quite like that one. And I was just checking through the Body Bags reviews and stuff like that. And shit, this has never been reviewed. So I was like, I've got to give a shout out to Stephen Hopkins here for probably one of my favourite movies. But somehow I'm still rocking this old DVD set that I really need to upgrade to 4K. Really have to. Because I watched it on 4K. It was on the Disney Plus channel, I think it was. Looks brilliant. So I'm like, I got to just go out and buy Predator 1 and 2 on 4K. But anyway, we follow Detective Mike Harrigan, a lieutenant within the LAPD. And yeah, like the start of the movie, we have like this big blowout, and it's was it the Mexican cartel, and they're kind of having an all-out war with the police, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, they're actually winning against the police at this point, and they're just doing copious amounts of cocaine, and they go in the building, and then it all goes shit for them because the Predator's in there, and is a lot better than the LAPD. So we follow who is it? It's Danny, which is Ruben Blades, and Maria Conchita Alonso, which is Leona. So these are his two detectives that he works with all the time. And yeah, they go in there against police orders. They're not meant to go in, and it's all chaos up there. Everyone's dead, apart from one, which Danny Glover, which is Harrigan. He's confronting this guy on the roof. He's clearly coked out of his face and scared to hell. And he actually sees the Predator behind Danny Glover and goes to shoot it. Danny Glover doesn't know that and shoots him off the building, dead, of course. And he then turns around and he sees the camouflage, but it's insane heat at that time of year, so he just puts it down to heat sort of thing. But then they go inside, they're checking out and there's this body that's being pulled up, and they're like, well, how did that body get like pulled up on there? You can't figure it out. And so they kind of walk off discussing it, and the Predator's still hanging around and takes that body for his trophy. And they're downstairs, and he basically gets a bollocking from was it Robert Davi? Is like he's captain of the police or something like that. He's kicking off, and then we got all this stuff going on, and so you have we find out there's a power struggle between I'm sure it's Mexican. I know I'm being really stupid calling it Mexican now. The Mexican cartel and the Jamaicans, led by King Willie. And so there's this gang turf thing going off. And so that the Jamaicans, they go and pay a visit to one of the high up Mexican people and kind of kill him. And then there's another kind of run-in with a Predator. We know what the Predator does. He hunts for his trophies, anyone that has weapons. So there's a big fight off in there, of course. And the one person that survives was a woman who was having sex at the time just before the Jamaicans break in. Rather noisy sex scene. And so she's the only one that survives. She doesn't have a weapon sort of thing, but she's kind of all totally freaked out and stuff like that. But yeah, they're all checking the situation. But we actually, excuse me, we backtrack a little tiny bit I forgot to mention that basically there's two things that happen a little bit before that. We have a Richard Keys who works for the FBI or something like that. We've got one of the Baldwins. Adam Baldwin is in this movie. He's working for Richard Keys, but basically they're taking over the investigation, which is pissing off Danny Glover and that. So he's like, yeah, whatever, you take over. Of course, he's not going to let it slide. But he actually gets a new member of the team, the Lone Ranger, which is Bill Paxton. And yeah, all these characters are really kind of well written. The actors I got for this are brilliant. Everyone just fits perfectly. But yeah, they're checking out all what's happened in this penthouse apartment, and then Danny Boy goes back, and spoiler alert, well, he gets killed by the Predator. So that's kind of pretty sucky situation. And the Lone Ranger, he's following the woman that got she was taken out, put in an ambulance. And he's following doing surveillance, and she never makes it to hospital. She gets taken away by the FBI. We're kind of figuring out the FBI know all about the Predator, and that's why they're taking her off, because they're going to investigate and kind of stuff like that. So yeah, more and more things kind of going down. Yeah, we have a scene within the graveyard where it's kind of the Predator is taunting Harrigan, like Danny Glover. He leaves Danny's necklace. He hangs it up in a tree, and it's kind of like he's taunting. He's hunting. He wants to hunt Danny Glover, and yeah, it's quite a cool scene. Then you get other bits and pieces. What Danny did find was a blade, which was part of a projectile that was shot out. And so they're getting this kind of analysed, and it's not like anything that's made on Earth, which is kind of like, okay, that's a bit kind of weird sort of thing. Starting to add more and more of these pieces, click them together like the puzzle that it is. And there's a scene where Harrigan goes to meet King Willie, and he's basically saying that he doesn't quite say it's like an alien, but there's someone from the other side. And he soon, like after Harrigan leaves, he soon loses his head over the Predator. There's a bit of a cool fight, so we get to see the Predator some more. And then we kind of go to this kind of really infamous, one of the best scenes in the movie is like on the metro, the underground system, and they're kind of all kicking off. It's like loads of people die because obviously the Predator kills people with weapons, and got all these kind of people going around their day-to-day lives in LA with weapons and guns. There's a situation that happens within the metro, the underground, so everyone's pulling their guns, and that's when the Predator comes and it all kicks off. And he kills, unfortunately, the Lone Ranger, so Bill Paxton is no more. And Leona, he spares, because we find out she's pregnant. Is it Harrigan's? We don't know. We never know. Kind of maybe points towards it is. But yeah, and then so he's there at the scene, and he kind of follows the Predator. He sees it, he follows right round the track, he sees it pull the head and spine out of the body, and he's chasing it. And yeah, he's kind of in the car, well, he's running after it, and then he gets in his car, he's chasing it through like the rooftops, he can see it, so he's driving below, and he gets to kind of this meatpacking district, which is kind of where, when it's been analysed, this blade, that there's remnants of something that they've been around, where they kill the animals and things like that, and so it was something to do that pointed it towards that area, and that's where the Lone Ranger said he actually lost them last time. So it's like he knows where he is, but he gets taken out by a vehicle, and of course it's Adam Baldwin takes him into this fancy caravan, and it's Richard Keys in there. And he explains the situation, what's going on. They have a plan to capture him, so that they go within like the meat locker to go get him. The plan goes awry. Richard Keys loses his life and it's sliced in half. And then it becomes kind kind of a chase, but not the Predator. It's like Danny Glover chasing the Predator, which is pretty cool. Like from the top of a roof, like climbing down to like the pipe which breaks. So he's managed to go into this house where these apartments where the Predator made his way through, you know, after he got his arm cut off and stuff. And there's all mayhem going on and all funny bits and pieces. Some funny lines in there and situations that come up. But yeah, kind of the climax of it is a big kind of just a fight, yeah, but we're within the alien, the Predator's spaceship, and then we see some more Predators at the end, and then he gets a gun, which is actually the weapon is kind of referenced. Well, basically the whole era, the time and the date and everything. I think I haven't checked this since, but I think it's the time of when Prey is set. I think. I can't remember now. I remember I've only seen it the once, and I think it's something like that anyway. But yeah, that's the end of our kind of awesome movie. It's so much fun. It's such a fun movie. It's not Oscar worthy or anything like that, but it's exactly what it needs to be. It's such a great sequel for what the first one was. You had such an incredible cast with that first movie set in this kind of godforsaken jungle, and they just take it into the concrete jungle, and it works so well. And the characters, the actors aren't on the level of what they were on that, but still they're really good. They fit the movie so well. It is really well cast. Everything about this movie is just it's not as good as the first one, but you don't feel like you're taking a huge step down watching it. For me, it just goes from one to the next, and I absolutely love that. I adore this movie. I really need to get it on 4K. Like I said, it looks so good. So I highly recommend anyone that doesn't have the 4K to get it, because I'm pretty sure what the 4K disc is the same as kind of what was on Disney Plus and that streaming, and it will look beautiful on there. But anyway, that's the end of the review. Absolutely love this movie. One of my all-time favourites. Both of them are. Absolutely love these movies. That's the end of the review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next week. Thank you. Goodbye.